Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and good morning. So, whatever you think of, whatever your personal beliefs are, one thing that I believe everyone right now can agree on that something strange is happening. I'm talking about this UFO, UAP disclosure, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I don't know. So what I'm going to do with you guys now is for you guys is I'm going to explain and talk about something called Project Bluebeam. Before I get onto that though, whether you guys, absolutely, whether you guys accept that or whether you guys think it's all, skullduggery, doesn't really matter. Because something's happening in the United States and it's regarding these 11 scientists, okay? So I'm going to start by giving you guys an update, and I will have to change the subject title for this. So I'm going to start by giving you guys an update on the 11 scientists that are either missing or dead in the United States, right? Now, when I've given it's only going to be short. When I've given you this update, just ask yourselves, is that normal? I'm going to give you their names and I'm going to give you the areas of research that they were in. And I want you guys to connect the dots. I'll let you into a little secret. It's not difficult, right? It's not difficult. So then I'm going to share with you guys a couple of videos and then I'm going to talk about Project Bluebeam. So, excuse me. I'll just give you this as the bullet point facts, okay? So the White House, the FBI in America, obviously, the White House, the FBI, NASA, Department of Energy, House Oversight Committee have launched a coordinated investigation into the cases of the 11 missing scientists. Now, as of now, no confirmed link has been established. President Trump's called the situation pretty serious stuff. The speculation online includes foreign targeting, protection of secrets, or even UFO UAP related research. I'm going a little bit wilder than that, guys. I am. I've been going a little bit wilder with my theories, but I'm just conscious. I just want to get these down, okay? So these are the people, okay? And what their fields of research were, okay? Michael David Hicks. Wasn't he one of the guys off Aliens? Hicks. I don't know. It was Dwayne Hicks on Aliens. So Michael David Hicks was a NASA JPL research scientist. Yeah. He specialized in asteroid tracking. Yeah? Asteroid tracking. Anyone? That's your one dot. That's your first dot, okay? Frank Mywald, NASA, JPL, principal researcher, microwave engineering, Earth observation. So microwave engineering would be directed energy weapons. Amy Eskridge, researcher in advanced propulsion anti-gravity. So now you've got 3 dots, right? Nuno Larina, MIT plasma scientist and fusion center director. I believe that's the one that I shared the video about earlier. Jason Thomas, chemical biologist, also microgravity biological ties. So this would be how things affect biology in space. Carl Grimier, Caltech astrophysicist, near-Earth object asteroid surveyor. Is anyone connecting these dots here? Can you connect these dots? Look, guys, this is. I'm not going down any wild conspiracies here. I'm just reading the names of the 11, so far, the 11 scientists that have even been killed, or I should do this on its own. Monica Reza, NASA, JPL, Director of Materials Processing, Advanced Allies for Rockets. Now, she's gone missing. No trace, just missing, gone. William Crasland, retired U.S. Air Force Major General, oversaw advanced materials and propulsion programs. Stephen Garcia, government contractor to Kansas City National Security Campus for nuclear weapons. And if you guys think about number 3, Amy Eskridge as well, she has nuclear weapons ties as well. It didn't say it on there, but she does. Anthony Chavez, former Los Alamos laboratory employee. Melissa Casisas, administrative staff with top secret clearance at Los Alamos. So whether you want to believe in little green men, whether you want to believe that aliens are coming here or they're not coming, or whether you want to believe in Project Bluebeam, whatever, that is real. Now, I'm not in the FBI. I'm not working for NASA. I'm not working for the White House even. I'm not even on the Department of Energy. And I think you guys can do the same, right? We can connect these dots ourselves, right? This is mind-boggling, guys. It really is. It's absolutely mindless McBoggless. Right, so let me come on to this video here. I'm going to play this video twice. I'm going to play this video now, obviously. I'm then going to play it again after my monologue. And now think about the context. Hang on. Is it that one? Yeah, there we are. No, hang on. So this is President Reagan, 1987, in a speech to the UN.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond.
Did you hear that?
Of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond.
Outside universal threat.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat.
I mean, he literally said it. He literally said this in 1987. How quickly human differences would vanish if we were facing an alien threat. This is wild.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Honestly, the more you look into this stuff and the more you see these breadcrumbs and these footsteps, it just gets wilder.
What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
He is absolutely right. 100% he's right. Right. Let me start with my monologue. So, in fact, let me turn that off, actually. How do I, yeah. Okay, so what I want to do now is I just want to talk about something that keeps cropping up wherever you look. Wherever you look, people are throwing out Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam. Oh, this is Project Bluebeam. And with the recent headlines about UFOs, UAPs, and all the rest of it, it's hard not to, it's hard not to look at this and think, well, that does tick all those boxes, right? So let me just be clear. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory, all right? It's a conspiracy theory. For now, until it happens. Can you guys remember when it was a conspiracy theory about certain medications and stuff? And can you guys remember when it was a conspiracy theory about the gay frogs? Can you guys remember that? So anyway, so according to the conspiracy theory, NASA is working with the United Nations and other powerful global institutes. Then they have a secret plan to use advanced technology to stage a massive deception. The goal? To bring about the new world order, a single global government, a single unified new age religion by destroying people's faith in their existing beliefs. Now, that's what, in a nutshell, Project Bluebeam is. It's very difficult as I'm sat here in, what are we on, the 20th of, is it the 20th? I think it's the 20th. On the 20th of April, the 21st of April, sat here on the 20th, sorry. I'm on some group chats and I get inappropriate messages, right? And I just thought of one. So, as I'm sat here in April 2020, what are we on, 6? It's very difficult, and I've talked about this when I talk about geopolitics. It's very difficult to see, or to not see, how the old world order is being destroyed, and that's ushering in something new. I've spoke about that previously. I want to focus on Project Bluebeam. Now, the plan of Project Bluebeam has a distinctly 4 stages. First, engineered disasters and fake archaeological discoveries that undermine the world's major religions. Now, I'm seeing the first steps of this. If you guys have watched Bob Lazar's videos on when he worked in wherever it was, Area 51 or whatever it was, he says quite clearly that the craft that he was working on was ancient. The craft, it was recovered. It was found on Earth as a crash craft. It wasn't something that was shot down. Second would be huge holographic projections in the sky. Now, as the story goes, this would be images of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, or whatever other, religious figures there are over those cities. However, I do think that would have been tweaked a little bit, right? I think that would have been tweaked a little bit from now. As the story goes, these big figures would come over, would come over delivering the same message, that the old faiths were incomplete and a new spiritual leader has arrived. Third would be the use of low frequency waves or satellite technology to beam thoughts and voices directly into people's minds. Now that sounds a little bit wild, right? When you think about it. But honestly, I shared with you guys a video earlier. Have I got it up? No, I don't have it up. I shared with you guys a video earlier. And on that video, there was, in the crazy times of COVID, there was people queuing up, right? With their trolleys. Is that not a form of mind control? Is that not a form of, direct into people's minds? Making the illusion feel completely real. And finally, a staged global event, an alien invasion or something equally as dramatic that will create panic, chaos, leaving frightened populations ready to hand over their freedoms to a new world authority for safety and guidance. Now, if we understand that let's just say that Project Bluebeam was a plan, right? Let's just go with that. Let's just say it was a plan. Plans get changed. But the objective always stays the same. For example, right, Sean. Yes, mate. Boss. Can you and your team write a plan to take this particular building? Yep, no worries. Get the lads in. Right, lads. Okay. Right. What do you need for that building? Well, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. Okay, right. Well, we haven't got those assets. Shelf that plan. Shelf the plan. Then when those assets come online, things may have changed. The plan may get tweaked, but the objective is still the same. The objective of Project Bluebeam is to force everyone into this, hand over their freedoms into this new world authority for safety, guidance, protection. So let's just say that the plan's changed a little bit, but the objective's still the same. Now, I want to be quite clear, Project Bluebeam's a conspiracy, right? It's absolutely not real. But look what's happening today, guys. Literally, look what we are, look what we are faced with. Look what we are faced with right now in the world. Literally, wars everywhere. Wars everywhere. Total destruction of our energy system. The way we are going right now, we are going to see total destruction of our whole energy system, like within a year. There won't be any gas plants left. So here's a theoretical question, of course. Could this sudden release of UFO, UAP information by the United States, the scientists going missing, could this all be the first steps of Project Bluebeam? In recent weeks, we've seen President Donald Trump, the Pentagon, prepare to release previously classified UFO, UAP, whatever you want to call them, videos regarding non-human intelligence, videos and documents. Congress are pushing hard for transparency, demanding footage and threatening subpoenas. Some are calling it soft disclosure. I'm one of them. I think we are witnessing soft disclosure, because if you look at the world right now, you don't get these big steps. With the war in the Middle East, right? You didn't get Donald Trump coming out there saying, we're going to declare war on Iran. We're going to go into Iran. We're going to take all of their oil. We're going to have every last drop of their oil. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be real hard work. But the United States of America, under my leadership, need to take control of the world's oil supply. We need all that material for ourselves. No, it started off as limited, airstrikes. Now, mission creep, mission slip. So things don't happen in big steps. You get these tiny little footsteps. And that's what I think we're seeing. I think we're seeing soft disclosure. And even this movie, what's it called? Alien Disclosure? Is that it? Or is it Disclosure? Alien, I think it's Steven Spielberg movie. I think it's called Alien Disclosure. It all just, to me, seems too perfectly timed. And we are in an age when drone swarms, have you seen those advanced holographics that the drones do? AI-generated imagery becomes more sophisticated. It's easy to see why this timing seems suspicious, right? It seems very suspicious. So I'm asking the question, and I think it's a fair question. Could we be living through the beginning or perhaps at the first stages of psychological preparation for Project Bluebeam? The slow drip of information, whether that's true or false, I don't know, designed to get us used to the idea of non-human intelligence in our skies. Could we be been softened up for something bigger? Now, the answer is a lot more disturbing than you guys would think. We are seeing in real time, we are witnessing, and we have seen the move from UFOs is a wild conspiracy to aliens are coming 2027 to scientists going missing, and I just read the names and what they were into. You can't not connect these dots. It's very difficult not to look at this and connect these dots. Now, I'll be honest. I've given my 3 theories on what's happening. I'm going to say they are still solid. 1, it's real. Aliens are really coming. 2, it's Project Blue Beam. Or 3, aliens are really coming, and Project Blue Beam, the conspiracy theory about Project Blue Beam, was sent in to stop people so people didn't think it was real. So I'm going to share with you guys that video again. I'm going to share with you guys the Reagan video. Now, watch this video again. Now you understand what Project Blue Beam is. Listen to this video. Now, this should put that into what I've just said should put this video into a different
In our
context.
obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
So that puts everything in a different context, right? Right, I've got one. I've got that one. I've got one. What's that? Hang on, I've got one. I've got 2. Yeah, I've got 2 videos to share with you guys, and then I will be closing this one down. Right, listen, I am on the chat. In fact, let me change that. Hang on. Universal threat project. Right, I'm going to jump onto the chat. I will then share the videos, and then I will close this down. Louise Gethin is saying, CERN opening portals to other dimensions. So I'm thinking interdimensional beings. Have I told you I'm reading the Book of Enoch? So I'm reading the Book of Enoch, right? And there's a he goes on and he's talking about like looking through portals. Now, you naturally think that, Enoch's describing when the angels took me and they showed me to the north and 3 portals opened, and when they opened, the wind and the flame came in. Like for an ancient person, like I think what he's talking about is a viewing thing. So portals can mean a lot of different things, right? Shadowban is saying, like in the Terminator, where you get the tech from, don't ask. Yeah, I think, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, when he's got like the hand and a microchip. Connery was always bringing Russia into it, right? Okay. Cherry Lau is saying, so I'm going to take a clue that genetic engineering for aging process was a flop. No, I don't think it has been a flop, Cherry. I'm pretty convinced that life extension is real. If you can, and I do think this, I genuinely believe this. If you can last now another maybe 30 years, if you've got another 30 years in you, like naturally, I genuinely think there's going to be human life extension. There's no reason we have to grow old. Zero. There is no reason we have to grow old. Then I think about, you guys watch that movie, go on, Blade Runner. Fantastic movie. I like them both, actually. Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it is. So in that movie, Blade Runner, the humans make replicants. And those replicants, because of commercial reasons, I think they give those replicants like a 4 or 6 year lifespan. So the replicants want more life, basically. And like humans live a lot longer. Now, I think we could be looking at something very similar. It's definitely perfected, but common person not able to obtain that. You see, okay, with life extension, right? It's kind of one of those things that you can't hide. Like paracetamol, right? Paracetamol. The market cap isn't there, right? So I get what people are saying. I get it, if some scientists found life extension, only the ultra rich and wealthy would be able to have it. Okay. So how much money do you think they're going to make off that? And the secrecy and the levels of secrecy to keep that. You just have to go through because everybody wants to go through these science fiction tropes, but the reality of the world is a lot different. So let's just imagine, right? How many people need to be researching this, all right? And they get a breakthrough, right? They get a breakthrough. So there will have been hundreds of people working on the same research. I mean, it is life extension, but it's telomere extension. So just imagine, right, that somewhere there's a laboratory and there's 100 people working on life extension, and they crack it. First of all, you've got to keep that 100 people quiet, right? Fair enough, you can do that if you want to be really draconian, but then people are going to start asking questions. And then you've got to market your product. So who are you going to market your product to? Because if you want to keep this secret, you have to go to like ultra wealthy people. And if they say no, then you've told them, right? So then you have to send them to the candy shop. And it just becomes like the logistics of it just doesn't work, the logistics of it. And you wouldn't make that much money either. So let's just say that the life extension pill, because it will probably be a pill. Life extension pill will be, you have to take it once a month, and it regenerates you. Let's just say that life extension pill is £1 billion a year, right? £1 billion a year. Okay. How much is that? That's for one course is £1 billion a year. Fair enough. That's a lot of money. How much money do you think you'd get from that pill if you were selling it to everyone, right? For £100 a week. Now we start to see the real market cap, right? Yeah, but it's not the price. The price is dictated by the profit margin, and the profit margin is dictated by your supply and demand. So if you've got if you've got a MacGuffin, I don't know. If you've got one of these, right, I can sell that to a millionaire or for £1 million. How many people are going to buy it? One, maybe two. if it's cost me like 5 pence to make, I might as well sell this out en masse and get it out to the general public because I'll make a lot more money. Right, I've got some more videos to share with you guys now. I've 2 videos actually. Right, I'm going to start with this one because I probably should have started with this. So this is an update on some of the things that have been happening in regard to these missing scientists. So the plot, look at his hair. So the plot is thickening.
The more we dig into this story, the more we find. After urging from the White House, the FBI and other agencies are looking into the deaths or disappearances of these 11 U.S. scientists. One of them is Alabama-based scientist Amy Eskridge. She was openly studying anti-gravity technology when she died in 2022. Her death was deemed a suicide by a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but she warned friends ahead of time that her life could be in danger. She spoke daily with Frank Milburn, a former British intelligence officer, about the threats she was getting, and he believes she was murdered for her work.
Who's doing it, though? If, and I don't know, if she was sent to the candy shop, who's doing that and why?
I don't believe that she killed herself. I just can't, because I spoke to her 4 hours before and she told me.
So he spoke to her 4 hours. This is honestly, this is getting a lot deeper.
Time and time.
Hang on. So this is a text message, right? Oh, by the way, if you see any report that I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I over that myself, I definitely did not. If you see any report that I took myself to the candy shot or that I did it to anyone else, I most definitely did not. Now, you could, look, guys, we could. Like, this one instance by itself, you could write it off. You could say that, okay, okay, this woman's clearly got mental health. Look, guys, I'm not saying this, but if you was looking at this, you could say, right, okay, well, the woman has mental health problems and she's saying this because she knew she was going to do this, right? That's what you could say. But the amount of people, that are involved in this scientific research, asteroid tracking, microwave engineering, Earth observations, advanced propulsion, anti-gravity, plasma fusion, chemical biology in microbiological ties, astrophysicists, advanced materials processing, nuclear weapons, advanced propulsion. Like it starts, the evidence starts to become overwhelming. And then there's another video I'm going to share with you guys here, because there's a lot coming out.
Orb that's about the size of a beach ball
Sorry. You see, this is where I struggle, right? I don't know what I'm looking at here. This could, I believe this is plasma. I believe this is microwave induced plasma.
We want the American people to see these videos. The American people deserve to know.
What do you think their reaction will be once they see them, having seen them yourself?
I think that we have a lot of footage that's similar to the gimbal video. We have footage that's similar to the Go Fast. There's some that are in pretty good clarity. I've seen a metallic silver orb that's about the size of a beach ball in very, very clear imagery.
Now, if my theory is right, where 2025 was to let people know about adrenochrome, 2026 is to let people know aliens and non-human intelligence has been visiting Earth. 2027 is to say that aliens are on their way. All these orbs, you would say they are, reconnaissance probes, right? Reconnaissance probes. Because if you were going to invade a planet, you've got like the boogosphere, you've got what he just said there, a metallic orb the size of a beach ball. These would be, these would be probes, right? Reconnaissance probes.
And then you're seeing there's some videos of immediate acceleration of a flying object, and that's not something that you would. It just defies any normal propulsion or physics that we know of.
I think that's a key thing there when he said it defies any knowledge of propulsion or physics that we know of. And we clearly don't know everything, right? We clearly don't know everything. Right, I'm going... Pale Rider! Pale Rider's just got a skull and crossbones. Cold War fusion. Cold War fusion. Do you mean cold fusion? Do you mean cold fusion? I think you mean cold fusion. I feel like you mean cold fusion. Max is saying you're wrong. It's going to be a surprise. It may be. Listen, guys, I'm saying, right? I am saying that I don't know what's happening. Something wild is happening, and I feel we're being set up for that, right? My theory, I'm pretty solid with my. Well, I don't think I've not seen anything that I would change my mind about my theory yet. David is saying if the government has a list of people or persons that are going to be of importance in the future, they might try to hold these people or continue their consciousness, or at least I would. Yes. So this has been one of my, let me try and see if I can get the pictures of them back up. There we are. Okay. So, yes. So if you wanted, right, if you wanted to attack Earth, right, and you were in the long game, right, it was going to take you a couple of years to get there because space travel, that's, it takes a long time, even at the speed of light. If you was on your way and you're like, right, okay, yeah, these humans are going to see us pretty soon, because at the moment we don't know what's coming, right? And at the moment we can only rely on the James Webb Space Telescope, Hubble. But as these craft get closer, people in observatories around the world will be able to pick them up, right? So you would have a window. You would have a window of potential identification, right? Where, I don't know, just normal everyday, and the closer they get, the normal everyday astronomers will be able to find them, right? So they know. Let's just say you're on your way and you know that, right? Okay. In a year's time, they're going to see us 100%. Maybe in 2 years' time, that's going to be public because normal people with telescopes are going to be able to, spot us as well. So they can't hide that. Okay. So what would you do? You would start by eliminating anyone who could potentially build weapons to stop you. And that would include asteroid tracking, it would include microwave directed energy weapons, it would include propulsion, anti-gravity, it would include plasma science, it would include fusion, all these things that these nuclear, all these things that these 11 scientists have gone missing that they were researching, they're the things, right? So you would want to take them out before you got there. Equally, Let's just play all sides of this game. Equally, if you were the government and you knew an alien craft was coming, you would want to get these people and protect them. You would want to get them and their families and say, right, you guys are protected, right? You're going down there with your families. All hell's about to break loose. We need to get you guys working 24/7. And then we need to bring something out to mass production. And what better way to get the world, like what better way to get, you know, I need to do a standalone on this, guys. I really do. What better way to get the world, to move the world into mass military production than a global conflict on an industrial scale, right? All the factories have ramped up. Can't tell you why you was ramping up, but here we are. Here's our prototype. Everybody needs to build this now. We need as many of these as possible. And then you get all the factories, and it's done, right? So you're having two. So maybe the war is the cover for the alien invasion. Equally, this could be the Chinese taking these people out. These could be Chinese spies. We don't know. You know, okay, so, you know, we don't know what this is. I have not seen that. No. Has anyone seen the video where the man that made a device to detect non-human hybrid beings? Isn't that that's the premise of that movie, They Live, right? Surely that's the premise of that movie, They Live. I've not seen that, no. David is saying, after all scientists, I think I may have missed your last comments. Hang on. There it is. David is saying, I think it's funny how the governments denied the fact that they were using governments to start fires, and Show just disclosed yesterday that their laser technology is getting more increased just after all the scientists disappears. Something strange, right? And what I know, I don't know the answers. What I know from watching, watching the mainstream media, knowing what I know about the military, I know that all this information that you guys, all the information to answer any question, I guess it's out there, except from how much sugar to put in a pint of beer for the perfect carbonation. That's not on the internet. Now, it's very difficult not to connect these dots. No, Max, but would it surprise me? Right, listen, guys, I'm going to close this down. I've well gone over my time again. I am going to close this down. Yeah, of course, directed energy weapons. Yeah, absolutely. Who is somebody saying directed energy weapons are not real? They're absolutely real, 100%. Like you can go on the government's own website and find them. In the 80s, in the 1980s, Russia. In the 1980s, Russia built I don't know if they built it, but I've certainly seen the Russian translation. They proposed to build a giant laser, ground-based laser, firing up at satellites. So if you think about satellites, the Russians proposed to build these big lasers near nuclear power plants so they could get the power. And then when spy satellites go over, they target them, and over time they will take those satellites out. I know a man who knew a man, and he was telling me that a lot of Western companies, when they fly over Russia, they close all their sensors because of these lasers, these ground-based lasers. So we know direct energy weapons absolutely do work. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to be closing this down now. You guys are fantastic and amazing and beautiful. Make sure if you're on and you've not done so already, please hit those buttons down below, guys. The like, comment, subscribe, bell notification. Witchmaster's saying Space Invaders. We love a bit. Yeah, with the lasers, right? With the lasers. I will be back on later. I may be back on very soon because I've just had a notification about the war in Iran. So I may be back on very soon, guys. Anyway, if I'm not back on very soon, I will save that till this evening. However, I will definitely be on tonight at 8 o'clock. So thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see you guys later.